if Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee did not allow the money exchangers to exchange money in the church, in the temple in Jerusalem, then why would the Christians and the Muslims, or even the atheists for that matter, then want me to leave them in the corruption that I had saw being done against me in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida on August 12, 2008 at 10:40 in the morning? See, why is the Christians and the Muslims on one accord against me? So wouldn't the Christians and the Muslims now be atheists to me? Right? Because isn't that when the Bible say that you will not be a priest to me? So who was they talking about if they weren't talking about me? Right? Because I'm saying, if you're not telling the truth, how can you be a priest to me if I'm telling my truth in defense of my people? So who are your followers if they are not the followers of Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee, or if they are not the followers of the Prophet Muhammad? See, how are they your followers if you're following the prophets in the Old Testament or the prophets in the New Testament? Then aren't they those people's followers? Because you following them too. So if you are a follower of a follower, then aren't you then in the ditch that Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee spoke of? See, if you read the Bible, but you don't show yourself approved, then what happened when you are in the judgment hall where Jesus was? Then how could Jesus now be talking about you when you is the reason why Jesus of Nazareth of Galilee was crucified, just like you are the reason why I'm being persecuted? See, these people couldn't do this to me without the masses. And they couldn't do it to me without the descendants of the high priest Caiaphas, the Pharisees, the chief priests, the high priests, the scribes, the elders, and Pontius Pilate being all on one accord like they was in Jerusalem. See, you cannot have the same storm without the same elements, right? See, a Category 5 hurricane is a Category 5 hurricane. And a Category 5 hurricane is going to cause the damage of a Category 5 hurricane. But you can't say that a Category 1 hurricane is the same as a Category 5. See what I'm saying? So that's why now you know degrees of hurricanes, so you can tell people to be prepared. Well, if the judges is lying like Pontius Pilate was lying, right, in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, then are not the judges in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, the same as Pontius Pilate was in the judgment hall in Jerusalem, if they have turned the judgment hall in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida into a kangaroo court? So if these people are denying truth, then aren't they denying God? If they tell you when you go into the judgment hall, they tell you to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? So if they deny my truth, then aren't they denying my God? So what God do they want to tell a half-truth? See, they want me to tell the truth that they want me to tell. But I'm saying, is the truth you want me to tell true, or is it your opinion of the truth, right? Because I know my truth, and I know what you doing to make it true. So now while I'm telling the truth about you, and then I'm using Pontius Pilate to then show your judgment biblically, then how you are not as guilty as Pontius Pilate was with your judgment, if your judgment against me in my time of existence is the same time as Pontius Pilate's judgment against Jesus. Pontius Pilate knew that Jesus committed no crime. But see, the only difference between Pontius Pilate and these crooked and corrupt judges in the civil and criminal courthouses in Seminole and Orange counties in the state of Florida, as well as in the federal courthouse in the Middle District of Florida, I'm a United States citizen. And Jesus was not a Roman. He was property of Rome. Dr. Martin Luther King was property of the United States of America. He did not have rights. And because of his stance, I am now able to stand. So that is why I am using my predecessor's evidence, and I'm now stating my evidence to show that you committed the same crime against me that you committed against him. And so the difference is he was violating the law. I am establishing the law that he had established. See, because you violated his rights, he then established the Civil Rights Act of 1964 that allows me to establish my freedom. See, you cannot just take what I've earned. And then if you took it, then you got to say why. See, you the one, the state has to prove the evidence beyond the shadow of a legal doubt. So if the state has thrown me out, then what am I doing without my property? But see, when you slaves, and then the slaves done aided and abetted the slave masters, now these kids need to read Matthew 10 that tells them when somebody like me is being persecuted and the brother give the brother up to be murdered and the father give the son up to be murdered, like my family did me, then they say that the children is supposed to rise up and put the parents to death. Now, why y'all ain't following the damn Bible?